In the previous 9 episodes of this series, I showed you guys what a pro rusher can do within 40 days. After that, I secluded myself in the mountains and meditated until I found something that I could never find. Despite the break that I took, which wasn't even that long, I mean guys, come on.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
Today, we're gonna break down the progress that I made as a pro rusher in Clash of Clans within 70 days, as well as the things you could look forward to in the series and in your own accounts. Let's get started. When we last left off on day 40, we had just got to Town Hall 11, got our 5th builder, and the base looked about as beefy as a broccoli on a vegetarian diet. Since then, we've done a bit of work. Let's talk about heroes first, since you guys know as an audience that is the real measure of the offensive power on this account. We had a level 14 Queen before, a level 13 King, a level 8 Grand Warden. Pretty abysmal levels. Honestly, I don't even know how I looked at myself. That's so ugly. 30 days and 1 wellness counseling class later, the Queen is level 28, the King is level 24, and the Grand Warden is level 17. Now, if you do the math with the gold pass reduction, you'll see that this would take just under 30 days for the Queen levels, and since that's what I upgraded the most during the break, it would be reasonable to say that the account is 30 days ahead of where it was before. Now, before you guys go ahead and cry about me not keeping up with the account, know 3 things. 1, I'm sorry. 2, I calculated to the best of my ability and left room for error. And 3, crying is for children, and since most of the audience is men, we cannot tolerate such behavior. Overall, the heroes look decent, and I'm going to keep grinding them as much as I humanly can. And once the Queen reaches a close to max level, we will be upgrading our Town Hall. Now, I know some of you might be wondering about Builder Base and exactly how that's been going, especially with the new update. As you can see, we moved on to Builder Base level 8, and we're actually upgrading to level 9 now, which means that we'll have Builder Base episodes coming out soon. I've also been grinding to the 3k trophy mark, so you guys will have additional information on that as well. We've kept true to our word and have consistently invested into baby dragons, which became even stronger after the Builder Base 2.0 in my opinion. Nothing like taking a good thing and making it even better, am I right? Overall, Builder Base is looking really fine, and although it does need some defensive work, our priority is to start grinding auto as soon as possible, so that's what we're going for. Okay, so the pro rushers among you know that it's time to ask you to like the video. Offensive upgrades. Let's see where we are with those. All the army camps have been maxed for Town Hall 11 since the last episode, and the CC and the lab have also been maxed, as well as the normal barracks, so everything is good, right? Well, no, not really. Don't kill me, but there are actually some offensive upgrades left. The Dark Barracks still needs a level, which we're going to do right now. We also need a level on both spell factories, so there's still some work that's left to be done. Since I've done a lot of farming, we've been pushing these upgrades away, but I'm going to be doing them sooner rather than later. Also, I don't really use the skeleton spell or the bat spell, so I'm going to wait a little bit longer on the dark spell factory, but if you guys really want me to do this earlier, just let me know in the comments and I can get it done for you. Now, you might be wondering why I'm upgrading the eagle then. Honestly, I am too. I'm not really sure what happened here and why I decided to upgrade the eagle. Honestly, maybe I'm drinking too much caffeine, you know? It starts getting to you and yeah. So what about the banks though, and the passive income? I mean, if you're not starting a business in 2023, then why are you even alive? The storages look great, all maxed and ready to go, which is what we like to see. The collectors, on the other hand, now, the Dark Elixir collectors are really important, but seeing as to how I have a lot of hero upgrades to do, some offensive upgrades, my core defense upgrades are really short. I mean, I think I'm just going to push the collectors since my loot income is high enough for now. Don't misunderstand me though, they are important, but for the time being, I think other things take more priority. Also, since it's my channel and you guys come here to watch me, what I say goes. Speaking of defenses, where are we on those? As you can see, we've done a little bit of defensive work, and before you guys throw a mic at me or cancel me, I'm going to explain why. We've put 1 level on the Infernos, 1 on the Teslas, 2 on each of the Archer Towers, and 3 levels on the Cannons. So why did we do this? Well, I needed to get some upgrades out of the way while I was still farming for different upgrades, but that's not the only reason why. I also did these upgrades because they were extremely short and offered a lot of DPS to the account, so we might as well get these levels out of the way and benefit from the little defensive strength that they provide. But guys, I did not prioritize these upgrades. I just did them in between getting resources for heroes or offensive upgrades, and this is how you can weave small upgrades in and be extremely efficient by keeping your builders busy at all times, regardless of how many resources you actually have. Our defense is a priority though, not until we get the offensive upgrades done, as well as some of those collectors to a decent level. And then I'm going to be working on some of the core defenses manually because they're so short. Okay, but what about the lab? I mean, this one is kind of simple, guys. My farming army composition and E-drags are maxed, so I'm just working on getting these barbarians and archers up so that my heroes become stronger. I also kinda really need super archers from my main account, so we're trying to get those as well. After this, I'm going to work on some spells since they're really good utility, and then I'm gonna put some more levels onto different war compositions that I want to learn next. I mean, guys, seriously, just look at the lab. I mean, it's not that many upgrades, right? It's pretty simple. I mean, you know, there's not much to it. Yeah, okay, there's a lot to do, but this is another episode's problem. You guys have probably seen one of the biggest changes on the account though, I mean, the walls. Before we had some dinky looking level 9 walls on the account and the attackers were probably disgusted just looking at them. Now the walls are doing a lot better, and eventually we even get to Town Hall 11 walls too, which will make this account look a bit more unrushed and more respectable. Now don't get me wrong, we don't require respect as rushers, we demand it using things like high hero levels and also things like walls, so this is an important aspect to the account. For those of you that are still struggling with your own walls, just know that you have to create a habit of farming whether you have resources or not, and then you just dump the excess into the walls. If you're strategically rushing especially, you don't need to have a builder open for the walls. Instead, just have a builder do short upgrades like the collectors or the short defensive upgrades, and then whenever that builder opens up, dump the excess resources into walls. Pretty soon these walls are going to be looking as amazing as I do, and honestly I can't wait to show you guys when that happens. I mean, it's going to be great. But listen, the most important thing about this episode has nothing to do with anything that I've shown you today, but rather everything that I've shown you in the last few months. Today is episode 10 of the series, and it wouldn't have been possible to get this far without you guys or your support, so thank you. Catch up with the series by clicking on the screen now and expect more episodes soon.